Yes. Yes. Mystery Bond. Day. Turns into day. Over night. Day. Turns into day. Over night. Live long and prosper. Due process. Due process. It's time to give due process to Stephen Miller. Who goes by the moniker M. It's time to arrest M. It is categorically demonstrable that a patriarchal terrorist Nazi genocide by a rogue regime resurrecting the Confederacy is cementing authority to rendition anyone to a garbage where they'll die. M stands for demortar, the murderer. It is time to arrest M. And just like we might ask, how long will it be until all people not given due process by this Nazi are returned to the United States to safety to receive due process, such that ruptures like the attack on an Oklahoma family with 20 federal agents who stole the misidentified family's life savings, terrorism has no place in the White House, least of all aimed at Americans. And that is all of us, all persons here. Citizens, undocumented, of any status, everyone gets due process. Everyone. Everyone is a person. Stephen Miller is grooming us in the mold of Trump's grooming through defilement, through psychological and emotional torture, through lauding the gorgeous beauty of deadly, impossible weapons, through dehumanization, through castigation and evisceration with contempt of empathy. What is the pattern we see? The pattern is of a lynch mob. The pattern is of a lynch mob. Because a lynch mob doesn't care how many people get swept up and doesn't really care who they are, so long as they're part of the targeted group. That's why most of the people thrown into a torture dungeon to die are known to have no criminal record whatsoever, because it is M's intent to grind our souls into dust, fighting for the right for humanity to be recognized as worth life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. He is one of a goose-stepping group of Ku Klux Klan fomenting neo-Nazis. It is not a mistake to have multiple idiots, multiple incompetent embarrassments, cliches that would not make it out of the writer's room for being too unbelievable as an attack, the opposite of damage control. It is war. Stephen Miller and the President of the United States are waging war to whiplash in the course of 2 to 6 months a population to celebrate extermination of people and to celebrate destroying American democracy. Because without due process, we are not Americans. The Falcon and the Snowman line said to Sean Penn's character, when he says, "I'm an American," they say, "This is not America." And that's the answer Stephen Miller has for us. He is cementing a confederated states. We are the community of individual heroes who stand as one. The New Colossus has always been Stephen Miller's greatest terror. His biggest fear is the truth of the message, of the glory of emancipation, of the beacon to share illumination, and an invitation that is not a trap unless we let him make it permanently a capture pool for human beings. That we say, "Send us your wretched refuse of your teeming shores, the homeless, tempest-tossed." And we're not hunting people. We're not predators like Stephen Miller likes to scapegoat anyone but white men and their females would be. No. You see, people are looking for different things, and so they see different things. Maybe if Stephen Miller had different capacities or weren't permanently outrunning being extinguished by his hate, maybe he would recognize the wisdom a mind as seemingly intelligent as his would recognize, that good does the best good for all, that truth is the only thing that can foster truth. We can't take a tendril off without leaving the path. We are being crushed, tortured emotionally, just like watching Elon Musk inside of the cube that sees everything that no one gets to look at for months. Just like watching video of a woman crying. I was telling them, we're citizens. We're citizens. They didn't care. They put her and her daughters in their underwear into the rain. These Nazis who have the White House are monsters! We have to wake up. Our solitary new colossal body has to wake up as one. It's going to be difficult because we have cancer and we are being dissected. But if we wake up, we may be able to stitch us up. We may be able to take care of the ridiculous Nazis crying for help and administer, instead of continuing doting, fearful enabling, we can administer help. Like extreme psychological intervention to prevent someone from being a danger to themselves and others, and which clearly, in the case of human rights atrocities, would involve some form of detention and accountability. They are breaking the actual fiber such that a cloud of Tucker Carlson's white genocide bullshit at Fox is a slingshot to send 500,000 people a year? Or is it an additional, now BlackRock jumping in to institute a practice of deportation, in quote, so accelerated that it necessitates mass murder. It is impossible to do it otherwise, and impossible to live as a free society while retching into a totalitarian police state. We have to wake up. Think of who is telling us not to be woke. Remember, we're talking, and that means we maybe have or can find a common language. There is a way back through the breach that Donald Trump created. That is actually possible. But a lot of things are lost forever. And the only thing we can ever do to repair or rescue is to take the picture hung to our wall of nostalgia and put it into the future and repair it there. Right now. We have to rip from our firmament carefully or heal our Ku Klux Klan cancer. We have to heal this. Manifest destiny is a fucking disease. And Stephen Miller is working to cement a world in America as if Hitler won. He is escalating ethnic cleansing. So, just like we might ask, how many days until Abrego Garcia and all of those taken to Rwanda and El Salvador and Guantanamo Bay and held illegally in detention facilities where they are dying and being tortured, and children? How many days until they are safe? How many days do we actually have the power within the government of the United States speaking to the power within the government of the United States and answering with gray rock acts of war? It is an act of war to demolish our checks and balances. It is an act of war to assert and coerce and force, to say it is axiom that due process is nothing. That the person at the head of the lynch mob, Stephen Miller, gets to say, "Oh, but my suspicion tells the law." What lynch mob nonsense are we asleep in? It is a lock or a block or a fog clouding our executive function of terror. Flooding the zone with shit is not about winning the game. It is about fucking genocide! It is so escalated that it is itself an attack and a conspiracy. And the end is mass murder and disenfranchisement of the global majority and women. The end is something we cannot tolerate. We have to stand together to make sure that humanity continues to be safe. We can't tolerate a fall like that. So how many days until Stephen Miller is in handcuffs How many days until the human rights atrocities, the grievous, absolute wrongs done in the name of Trump and frankly in the name of Hitler, these things are being done in the name of evil. How many days until those people are safe? How many days until we know how many of them are dead? How many days until Stephen Miller is in jail? Day turns into day overnight. 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 High day turns into day overnight. 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 Give M due process. Day turns into day overnight. 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 Day turns into day Day turns into day overnight. 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 Let's give M due process. Day turns into day overnight. Overnight. Interesting. Day turns into day overnight. Day turns into day overnight. Day turns into day overnight. Day turns into day How many? How many? How many? Day turns into day. Overnight. 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 Day turns into day. Day turns into day. Overnight. Ooh. Day turns into day. Overnight. Night. Day turns into day. Overnight. Day turns into day. Overnight. Day turns into day. Overnight. Day Day turns into day overnight. 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 Now I'm going to sing with the microphone on. Now that I'm warmed the warm-up. 6 the feet of separation. For Stephen Miller, who sicked the feet of separation upon us by intentionally destroying the pandemic team and intentionally dosing millions of Americans with COVID, killing 1.2 million people with mens rea and premeditation. Just like that. So now, too, are we headed for an iceberg. Trump and Stephen Miller, otherwise known as M, they have been drawing us towards this on a permanent vector. It is permanent because of them, unless, because of us, the vector stops. 6 the feet of separation. 6 the feet of separation. 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. 6 feet of separation. You didn't mean to cause a panic. You didn't mean to cause a panic. Prepared people can plan and plan quick. You didn't mean to cause a panic. He meant to draw iceberg Titanic. He didn't mean to cause a panic, yet 6 the feet of separation. 6 the feet of separation. 6 the feet of separation. The Nazis lost in World War II as Allied radar read their crew. And what we knew was probably due. The great American wall builder said, I know what to do. I can use you. Just let it through. He didn't mean to cause a panic. He didn't mean to cause a panic. Yet 6 the feet of separation. Oh, 6 the feet of separation. 6 the feet of separation. To guard a tree and leave a stump. I don't perceive a guardian. To guard a tree and leave a stump. I don't perceive a guardian. To guard a tree and leave a stump. I don't perceive a guardian. To guard a tree and leave a stump. I'm not what I call guardian. You embody actual Trump. You're a real card, your father's son. You're a real card, your father's suit. You're a real card, your father's loot. It's not the thing you swear upon, it's what your heart was. It's what your heart was. It's what your heart will not abandon. It's what your heart won't abandon. It's what your heart won't abandon. It's how your word becomes action. It's that your word's an honest one. How long must you menace us? You do doubt the new Colossus. You're a real card. You're a real card. You're a real card. 6 the feet of separation. 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 Yes, we're looking at the apparent catastrophe of a buckling nation, a buckling infrastructure set with intent and through sabotage into crumbling. And the shapes we're being told that we are locked into being and being understood as may have something to say about all of it, or the people inside of these shapes we are trapped or told we are to be within. We do need to take away what authority this corrupt regime has. We do need to take it away because their project, the Project 2025 project, is aligned with Trump's project of constant conquest, of constant rupture and upheaval, of constant escalation. Because we are in an abusive relationship. You are in an abusive relationship. Shocking boundary violations are one common grooming tactic of a narcissist or dark triad personality. If someone in your life points into a camera knowing you'll be looking at the view screen,
and pulls their finger like a trigger, looking into your eyes, saying, I could shoot someone in the street and not lose anyone. It is a good indicator of a bad situation. You are in an abusive relationship. Who has leveraged and climbed upon a fog of falsehood? Who has donned the falsehood? Who is the falsehood?
Sets the fear of separation. 6, the fear of separation. He didn't mean to cause a panic. He didn't mean to cause a panic. Prepared people can plan and plan quick. He didn't mean to cause a panic. He meant to draw iceberg Titanic. The falsehood will tell you intuition's faulty. The falsehood will tell you facts aren't factual actually. The falsehood will tell you intuition's faulty. The falsehood will tell you facts aren't factual actually. The falsehood will tell you intuition's faulty. The falsehood will tell you facts aren't factual actually. The falsehood will tell you intuition's faulty. The falsehood will tell you facts aren't factual actually. The falsehood will tell you intuition's faulty. The falsehood will tell you facts aren't factual actually.
falsehood will tell you intuition's faulty. The falsehood will tell you facts aren't factual actually. The falsehood will tell you intuition's faulty. The falsehood will tell you facts aren't factual actually. The falsehood will tell you intuition's faulty. The falsehood will tell you facts aren't factual actually. The falsehood will tell you intuition's faulty. The falsehood will tell you facts aren't factual actually. The falsehood will tell you intuition's faulty. The falsehood will tell you facts aren't factual actually. The falsehood will tell you intuition's faulty. The falsehood will tell you facts aren't factual actually. The falsehood will tell you intuition's faulty. The falsehood will tell you facts aren't factual actually. The falsehood will tell you intuition's faulty. The falsehood will tell you facts aren't factual actually. The falsehood will tell you intuition's faulty. The falsehood will tell you facts aren't factual
Alert! We have Kremlins. We have Kremlins. It is seemingly indisputable that we have a Ku Klux Klan Kremlin mashup trying to mash us up. Never get their appetite whet. They do enough of that on their own. They are Kremlins. And it's time to dispatch them to healthcare and consequences. Healthcare and consequences. Healthcare and consequences for Donald Trump and Stephen Miller and the rest of their Ku Klux Klatch. How many days do we need to tolerate incredible and excruciating
intolerance. We are being groomed the same way as Stephen Miller and Ryan Walters are grooming children. We are being groomed to accept torture, abuse, and terror, including murder and separation. What is MAGA? I would offer that MAGA is simply the Ku Klux Klan. It is simply the Confederacy. And we need to remove it. We need to remove from the public square people waving weapons that they mean to hurt others and even themselves with. This is completely unacceptable. We have a responsibility to one another as human beings to recognize the difference between humanity and humanity perverted into a death cult. It's not just not a normal administration. This is potentially the worst totalitarian regime in human history. We need to wake up as one body, and we need to dispatch terrorists like the Heritage Foundation to healthcare and to therapy. We do not have time or space to allow murderers to dictate terms. This havoc is absolute bullshit. Due process is guaranteed and is for everyone. It is for everyone, even Kuka Kremlins, even Kuka Kevin Roberts, even Kevin Roberts of the Heritage Foundation deserves due process, even though this ridiculous Ku Klux cuck threatened your family and you, saying he was starting the Second American Revolution that would be bloodless if you allowed it, if the left allowed it. Well, look around us. To our left, we're being told we will be put in jail if we hide Anne Frank. To the right, we're being told we ourselves can be deported and, in fact, renditioned to a torture and death chamber. They're conducting ethnic cleansing. They're conducting mass looting. Because the falsehood leads back to where it started, that the savages were the ones who were helped and then turned on indigenous peoples here. Terrorists like Kevin Roberts are a threat to the habitat, and they are killing America and Americans, and there will be no Americans if we have no due process. We are not Americans without it. We need to push back against Kevin Roberts and against M. The time is now. Right now. Up and at M. Up and at M. Up and at like Marjorie Taylor Greene, the caustic Nellie Olson screech of his complaining and terrorism and hoaxing is so disgusting that it makes us want to just hope he'll never come back. And let's never give up hope. Yet, we have to recognize that M will only leave if made to go. Stephen Miller is M. He is the murderer. It is time to send U.S. Marshals to arrest him. Otherwise, it is time for those who know the Pledge of Allegiance doesn't swear an oath to the president to be woke as one new Colossus. We stand for Americans. We stand for persons here. We stand for inalienable rights that all people created equal have. We stand against the blatant, racist, bigoted terrorism of M. In fact, we are going to demolish the hate and the scope of M's reach. Together, we can identify who he is to the populace so that we can subdue and give due process. To M. We can give M due process, and we can give this ridiculous neo-Nazi here on the screen due process too. Kevin Roberts is a terrorist. He is also a human being. He is a person, and we give people, even the worst people in humanity, even people we know are murdering lynch mobbers like Kevin Roberts. Even Kevin Roberts gets due process. Even Kevin Roberts. Alrighty then. Here we are at the font of mystery, and it seems we have the perfect song for Stephen. The perfect song in this moment that goes a long way back. that we all know, or a lot of us know. And a lot of us know it because it played every year in America. It played every single year. And what was it? In the name of Abrego Garcia, in the name of humanity, in the name of due process, this is for Stephen Miller to consider as a white patriarchal terrorist sowing genocide. We see you, and we see what story is playing out. Do you remember the sound of music, Stephen? Edelweiss, Edelweiss, every morning you greet me, small and white, clean and bright, you look happy to meet me. Blossom of snow, may you bloom and grow forever. Edelweiss, Edelweiss, bless my homeland forever. The family Von Trapp was planning to cross the mountains, but plans changed when they were brought to sing for the newly Nazifying Austrian town that was their home. And Georg and then the whole family sang Edelweiss, because in the world of this film, that was a song of homeland, a song like, say, Unsatisfied by the Replacements. It's not the same reach of general knowledge, but to me, that band and some of those songs say Minneapolis. Maybe if there were a song about, like, the Magnificent Loon that we all knew here, or indeed before it was potentially irrevocably defiled by the President of the United States, you know, the national anthem. A song, though, in any case, that what's important about it, I guess, in The Sound of Music is that it's a folk song. It's a song that people identify as of the place and of home, not because the government told them to, but because they do. And so they sing it. And so when the Georg family, or the Von Trapp family, led by Georg Von Trapp, when they sing the song Edelweiss as ostensibly entertainment for the group there in the massive auditorium, hundreds, thousands of people, maybe. But this massive crowd is treated to something that tugs at the heartstrings of home. And then they leave. And they do climb the mountain to flee their home because the Nazis have come and want to pull them into the tide pool, into the whirlpool. Climb every mountain. Edelweiss is a song of resistance, as far as I can see. And The Sound of Music it's a story that we know. And to a large degree, it is essentially a true story. Julie Andrews has met and spent time with and sung with Maria von Trapp. Did when Maria von Trapp was alive. I think she's passed on. So if you remember the sound, if you remember the sound of music, the sound of your grandmother singing Edelweiss, or of gathering around the television and pulling out that one of few VHS cassettes your grandmother really, really wanted you to watch, and the only one she ever had out, maybe. Or every time it would come on, every year. I watched it many times. And I wasn't alone. I know I wasn't in the only household watching that. And when I ask people about The Sound of Music and ask them about Edelweiss, they may not talk about the villain of the film. They may not remember offhand that 16 going on 17 is about a 17-year-old Nazi trying to win the heart of an innocent who would not want that. That it is the Nazis taking over in this Austrian town and beckoning the scion of the von Trapp family to weave into their web. That would be more than obeying in advance or obeying in real time. That would be collaboration. And maybe more. Due process is holding us together. We are a nation that can look to documents created with incredible care. Documents built by people seeing incredibly easy choices to make another way, made the right way for balance and equality to actually be able to exist. It doesn't mean that we've got so far with it, or that we haven't snapped back again and again. We essentially abandoned the Reconstruction, all the more now. But we have no chance whatsoever unless we restore and save this and pick up the Reconstruction where we left it. Emancipation was the right choice, and we need to keep taking the steps forward to heal our American apartheid. Stephen Miller wants the opposite. Stephen Miller wants you to be terrified and to be afraid of using your voice. He wants submission. He wants terror. not only do we need to arrest Musk and Doge, we need to arrest Stephen Miller. Stephen Miller is a threat to our habitat, to the very basic prospect of the American experiment. This is not just throwing in the towel he's looking at. This is a resurgence of the Ku Klux Klan and a Nazi fantasy of America. It is absolutely apocalypse. Apocalypse to our soul. I saw an incredible content creator today, an African American scholar, talking about the refusal of white people to process grief. And we are coaxed by the falsehood by M and Trump, who clearly have, it seems to me, there's ample evidence that they may actually know the identity, even potentially, of the falsehood. That pernicious figure who has woven such hokum that we can barely see, who has opened up a breach tearing through the edges and firmament that holds reality. We are under siege by Donald Trump and Stephen Miller. We are under siege. It is time to recognize they have been, Stephen Miller, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Tucker Carlson, Elon Musk, and the like, they have been at war for years. For Moms for Liberty, they have been quietly at war for years. And essentially, since the beginning of the Reconstruction, we have been not only terrorized and especially the global majority, Black, BIPOC people, terrorized, but gaslit the same, that there is no racism, that there is no oppression, that that's nonsense, that we have come so far. Very strange. A gaslight and a deranged reproach that the left is trying to fascistically control people when we ask to have a conversation about conscience, when we voice opinions or voice reproach. Because people like Marjorie Taylor Greene and Stephen Miller and Peter Thiel and Elon Musk do not embrace free speech. They embrace the looting of most of the space for free speech by absolute dehumanization and degradation of reproach, by attacking our ability to safely disagree, and with sanction and tending and appreciation for what it means that we hold this together this way. Stephen Miller is a murderer and a con artist hoaxing on a massive, massive scale. This is the ridiculous person who tried a 180 flip about the Supreme Court, the ruling, a 9-0 ruling supporting due process. And he says that they ruled in the Trump administration's favor, that they, while telling the Trump administration they must facilitate his return, his safe return, Miller says, oh yes, it was the opposite of that. It's really not funny at all. It's hearing the doctor say, oh yes, your daughter is going to be perfectly all right. We have the solution here that is absolutely not the one that she's allergic to that would kill her. It's absolutely, we've done our research and she's dead the next day. It's a small detail that makes all of the difference. The small detail here is that at the center of what Stephen Miller talks about is the falsehood. He is speaking fabrication. He is speaking lies. And like Donald Trump, he gleefully and willingly and prodigiously lies in outrageous ways that most people cannot fathom being able to do. Being able to not vomit as they realize they're tearing fiber between people in relationship with language. Most people would not be able to do what dark triad predators, what malignant, dangerous, deadly narcissists like Donald Trump and Stephen Miller get up to. Due process is for everyone. That's all of us. It's time to have boundaries again for us. Keep that DARVO card handy, Scoop Troop. You may be glad if you can pull it out mentally or even out of your pocket. Even a physical little card you can slap up over the windscreen or just hold it up and compare to the conversation you may be having in case you think you may be talking to the falsehood. Or if you are, say, watching Trump on television, hold up that DARVO card, because denial, attack, and reverse of victim and offender is the codec he operates in at most every instant. And that is true of both Trump and Stephen Miller. How many days? How many days? How many days until Trump and Stephen Miller are in cuffs? How many days until Trump and M understand the value of due process for everyone?